They're coming to get you.
Welcome to the Fear Central podcast. I am Mike.
I'm Paul.
I am Heather.
I am Chris.
And we are a weekly podcast based on the horror genre, on our thoughts and ideas about the genre and everything about it. If it's your first time here, welcome. We always like new flesh. And if you've been here coming for a while, welcome back. Don't forget to subscribe, like, review, rate, all that fun stuff. If you're wondering where you can subscribe, head on over to fearcentral.net. And we've got a listing there of all the different places that you can subscribe to for your podcast pleasures.
There are at least 5.
At least. Plus. So this week, well, I guess I should rewind a little bit. So we've been gone for a hot minute.
Yeah.
A couple of us been fighting the old summer cold flu, pneumonia stuff. Schedules have been flim-flammed and all that kind of stuff. So, but we're back. Plan on staying around for a while, I hope, this time. Don't mind the cuckoo clock as it cuckoos.
It chimes for you.
Oh, chimes, sorry. So,
Is that chiming?
Ba-ding, 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 ba-ding.
Now they're going to know what time this is.
That's if I have that clock set correctly. The clock has to be set correctly for them to know that.
Oh, nope.
I'm so
It's
paranoid.
not.
I'm so
It's not.
paranoid. They're going to know about us by knowing the time.
They're gonna know.
They're going to know.
No one's
Gonna
gonna
know.
know.
They'll
No one's
know.
going to know.
No one's gonna know.
They'll know.
How would they know?
How would they know?
They'll know. Okay, I don't know. Internets.
How would they
Things.
know?
Tracking.
No one's going to
Whatever.
know. So this week we thought we would do what we're calling small screen big scares. So we're talking TV series based around the horror genre.
Oh, no Big Bang Theory.
No, not this time.
Wrong kind of horror.
Wrong kind of
I
horror.
don't know. I don't know anything more scary than the popularity of that.
Right. But I've noticed myself, I guess over the last 5 or 10 years, there seems to be a growth of horror-based TV series coming out. I mean, recently we've had, the Purge series,
Exorcist
series,
Evil.
all kinds of. I mean, it just seems, because growing up, and I'm going to age myself, there wasn't a whole lot. Like, when I was a kid, the only one I really watched was Kolchak.
I knew you were going to go
That's
there.
it? That's all you
Night
watched?
Stalker.
I mean,
You
there
didn't
was
like.
as
You didn't
far- as
watch
Oh,
far as-
like the Addams Family or the Munsters
Not really,
or
no.
Night
Dee Dee?
Gallery.
When was
I
Dark
loved-
Shadows?
I didn't get
Dark
into Dark
Shadows
Shadows.
was
That
in
was
the
more
70s.
British.
Well, but I mean, it carried through. It was on
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, it's still on as
Yeah.
far as I know. But I think during that time, I think it was still more in Britain than it was over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I watched like the Twilight Zone, Night Gallery.
Love me some Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Friday the 13th, the series.
Well, that's since I got a
Freddy's
little
Nightmares.
older.
Freddy's Nightmares.
Pretty sure we have a episode of Twilight Zone at work every couple of days.
Every couple of days?
Yeah. My dad asks if we're in the Twilight Zone a lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wow.
Feels like it sometimes.
Sometimes.
Y'all got a favorite Twilight Zone episode?
Absolutely.
Which time period?
Any time period.
Okay.
I like
At two.
Shatner at the diner.
Shatner at the diner
Yeah,
was really
that's a
cool.
good
The
one.
devil.
That was
That's
going
a
with
good
the
one.
Yeah. One of my favorite ones is where this suburban neighborhood sees like a meteor fly over, and some kid goes, "Oh no, that's the aliens! You can't leave the neighborhood." And then they turn on all each other. It's like a version of The Thing, but it's a neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite ones. I forget the name of that one. In the new Jordan Peele series, My favorite one is Blurry Man.
Yeah.
I really like that one. It totally breaks the fourth wall in all the places.
There's a lot of meta in that series from what I've seen thus far, anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, growing well. Of course, I'm the oldest of the group, so Kolchak the Night Stalker was in the 70s, like 74 to 78, I think, 77, somewhere in there. I always called it the original X-Files, and then while doing my research, one of the trivias that I saw was that's what they used to base the X-Files on.
It was only 74 and 75.
Yeah,
Oh, was
a
it?
short
Only 2
series.
seasons.
It was a short series.
20 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it actually was very well written. I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
it stated that the reason that it ended so abruptly was because evidently the writers started lacking in the way the stories were being told, and the main character wasn't liking the writing. He was like, it's getting sluggish, it's getting weak. So he was like, I'm gone.
what an ass.
Okay.
Well, okay.
That's at least a unique way of ending a series.
Yeah.
Yeah. Evidently, there's 2 episodes that never either never aired or never got shot, because they said there was like 2 or 3 scripts left when he left. So I think there's 2 episodes that never got shot, and one is like a bonus feature, unaired episode. But then we get into the 80s. That's where things start changing.
Yeah.
Because you got, like you were saying, Friday the 13th, the series,
Night Gallery,
Night Gallery, Outer Limits,
Outer Limits. That was
a
good one.
reawakening of the Twilight Zone,
Yes.
Tales from the Crypt.
Love
We
some
can't
Tales from
forget
the
the
Yes.
Crypt Keeper.
Tales from the Dark Side.
Tales from the
Yes.
Dark
Yes.
Side. Steven Spielberg's amazing stories. Some of those were kind of
A little
questionable on their scare factor.
Bizarrely, you had sort of horror stories from both Ray Bradbury Theater and Roald Dahl had his own.
Yeah, I think there was also like a re-envisionment of Hitchcock.
Yeah, there was
hour
a
thing.
a
Yeah,
return
he
on
did
Hitchcock.
actually did that, and wasn't he doing that himself? And then
He originally was doing it in the 50s before
Yeah,
the
there
original
you go.
Twilight Zone.
I do not remember when Mr. Hitchcock passed.
I do not either. Forever Night. I used to
was a
watch
good
that a
one.
lot.
That's one of my favorites.
Did you know that it started out as a TV movie?
Yes.
1980.
80.
Do you know who played the vampire in the TV movie?
Of what? I'm sorry.
No,
Forever
I
Night?
don't. I watched it and I should remember it, but no, I don't remember who played the original one.
It was Rick Springfield.
Was it really?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we did watch that one. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the original TV
sorry,
movie
I'll
was
give you
Rick
my card.
Springfield, and then when they made
Well,
it
that
a
makes
series,
sense. That makes sense
Yes.
because I'm only picturing his hair.
You had fabulous hair.
Fabulous. American Gothic going into the 90s. That was a
Gary
really good one.
Cole and young Sarah Paulson.
Yeah. I used to like that show.
It was pretty good.
Millennium, around the same time, with Lance Hendrickson. Yeah,
Yep.
that one was really good. There was the Kindred, the Embrace, based off the Vampire the Masquerade.
See, okay, I'm sorry, but they totally could have done so much better with that one.
I agree.
I will take this opportunity to shout out. It's a buggy game that fans had to finish off, but Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines on PC. Oh my god, I love that game.
Oh, I'm so waiting to get the second one too.
Yeah.
I haven't got it yet.
Hurry up.
I know, but
Also in the 90s, you had, starting into the kind of teen horror, you had Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
Goosebumps.
Good old Canadian horror.
Erie, Indiana. Yeah.
For
Erie,
younger
That
audience.
was
Indiana,
actually
yes.
very good.
Yeah. It's a very short series, but it's well worth watching.
along those same lines, you had Awe, Real Monsters. I used to love that
Yeah, but
cartoon.
that's more cartoon.
Oh,
Yeah.
but there were some great. There are
But I
some
mean, like
great horror cartoons.
Courage
Oh, yeah.
the Cowardly Dog had tons of creepy moments.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Invader Zim,
Invader
Dark
Zim.
Harvest,
Invader
the organ
Zim.
episode.
Yes.
yes, and then there's Gravity Falls. That's a great.
Well, that's much more recent.
That's much
Yes,
more recent.
Yeah.
I know.
But
I am aware.
She's all like,
I do like that show is just sort of adventure-y, and then they introduce the big bad, and it starts getting all sorts of Lovecraft in.
Yeah, it's great. If you haven't watched it, it's fantastic.
Yeah, Adventure Time goes through some similar moments throughout the course of that show.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't be surprised. It's like silly Ron Perlman as the devil, basically.
Right.
The Lich.
Yeah.
Nice.
There was also the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, the two kids who ran
Yeah.
around with the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
that's
the Grim
creepy.
Reaper.
Oh, yeah.
I loved. Well, okay, really, my kids loved it, but then I started getting into it. So yeah, I kind of like that
Yeah.
one.
Grown up creepy.
I mean, I don't know how much you'd count it. I mean, like, Lynch is an acquired taste and everything in it, but I mean, Twin Peaks has some weird surrealist horror moments.
I've seen it on the list of several places that
Yeah.
have classified that as TV horror.
Well, if you get to the most recent season 3, all of a sudden it takes a. There's one episode that has almost none of the main characters. It's all black and white, and it's like Kubrick directed a horror movie, like a nightmare.
The
Like,
Shining?
all of a sudden, and it's just like. It is one of the creepiest things I've ever seen, and it just, mainly because you're just not expecting it. All of a sudden, out of episode 8 of season 3 of Twin Peaks.
Huh.
So, like The Shining?
More like 2001 is a nightmare.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's the birth of evil, is what it's about.
Interesting.
Okay.
That sounds pretty cool. I never really got into the original series.
It's very quirky.
Because it had the first 2 seasons, and then there was like a TV movie.
A TV movie, then the first 2 seasons, and then it ended on a major cliffhanger, and they got a movie theatrically done, but they made it a prequel. So it made everybody unhappy originally.
Oh, okay. Because I knew there was at least one movie. I didn't know if it was before or after the original series.
Yeah. It's a prequel.
Heather, one through the 90s that we've completely missed. The X-Files.
Oh, it's on my list.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
totally the X-Files.
Love me some X-Files.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about the X-Files before, but that was kind of, when I was growing up, that was my dad and my thing. Sunday nights was 8 o'clock,
Something like that, yeah.
7 or 8 o'clock, X-Files came on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started going to college. So I would leave to go back to school in plenty of time to get home so that I could watch the X-Files, and then my dad and I would call each other and we'd talk about it. So,
Okay, so I have to ask your opinion. The season after Mulder with Robert Patrick. What'd you think about?
Meh.
I was the same way.
yeah.
It's like,
It's not like he's a bad actor. It was just meh.
It just wasn't the same. It
No.
wasn't the same chemistry. It wasn't the same kind of vibe that you got with Scully and Mulder,
Yeah.
and so.
and I was really kind of disappointed in the re-envisionment of it when it came back, because it seemed like they had too many jokey kind of episodes, like the Mandela Effect episode. It was just like, what is this? It's like, come on, y'all were serious about this back in the 90s. What happened?
Right.
And then they just
You
like
writers-
canceled it, and you're like, no, I got to know what the hell happened to the son.
Right.
I wonder how many people they warped with the episode of the brothers and the mother hidden under the bed.
Oh, I don't know.
That was a good one. That was.
It's like one of the
fucked
only
up, but it was
TVMA
good.
episodes.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite one was? The Stretchy Man. Do you remember the Stretchy
Oh, I
The
do.
Stretchy
Stretchy
Man, yeah.
Man
Yes.
coming back for revenge?
Yeah.
It's Tombs, right?
I think
Tombs,
so, yeah.
yeah.
Tombs.
Yeah. I love that episode so much.
Yeah.
It was creepy.
I like the one with Lightning Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then, of course, who could not forget the Leech Man.
Yeah.
Lamprey Man, whatever he was.
Mm-hmm.
Some good times. But now I recently myself have been watching quite a bit of stuff lately, especially while trying to learn to breathe again and stuff because of summer colds and flus and all that stuff. But I recently watched the first season of The Outsider on HBO,
Great
based
book.
on Stephen King.
Yeah.
The book is fantastic.
Um,
The series,
Series is good.
it's good. They leave out some very important things that would make the series make a whole lot more sense.
what it?
Yeah.
Because I was listening to one other podcast that Blumhouse and Fangoria do, and they were like, you know, I could walk away for a minute and come back because he's that close to the book.
Mm-hmm.
He did say there was a couple of characters that weren't introduced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
I mean, I think the show really finds its footing whenever, what's her name, Cynthia Erivo shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, towards the end.
And it wasn't as a far cry from the book as some of the other adaptations of
Right.
Stephen King's have been, but there were some parts that were integral to the plot
Yeah.
that were not introduced, and so you're going, wait a minute.
I will say that
But if you've never read the book, you would never know.
Yeah.
But for someone who's read the book and you're going, wait a
Yeah.
minute, that's really important. They should have put that in there.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've never read the book. So to me, it was really great. I just
Right.
wish there would have been more Jason Bateman in it because he was amazing in the first couple of episodes.
Yeah, but
But in the book, it's
It's
yeah.
more twisty and
Yeah.
well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like that book looks like it was written with that in mind. Like, okay, what do people think is going to happen now, or what are people worried about, and then just like go in a completely different direction.
yeah.
Like the book is all about that.
Is it?
But HBO does a good job, for the most part, with the series that they do,
Yeah.
the horror-based ones. Like, right now I'm on a rewatch of True Blood,
Right.
which I absolutely love. Mike did not care for because of all the kind of softcore porn kind of stuff in there.
He really wanted it to be hardcore. Like, he wanted it
Yeah.
to be so nasty.
Yeah, he wanted to show this on like...
I wanted fang holes in the penis.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
No.
Well, but you
All that
get
blood raunch.
that first season, there's a lot of it.
There is
The
a lot.
second season is not quite as much.
Which kills me because of who the villain is in the second
Exactly.
season. Because it's all about hedonism.
Hedonists. Yeah. So it's very odd that is not a huge. I mean, it's a big part of it, and there's some stuff. There's a lot of
there's not.
nudity and stuff, but
This is going to be very probably non-PC, but it cracks me up, especially knowing which one of my friends said this. But one of my best friends described the books to me whenever we were in like season 3, and I asked him, "Is like, well, are the books worth it?" He's like, "They really feel like they're written by a horny middle-aged woman."
Damn.
well, I mean,
You gotta get somewhere.
See, I just think that it wasn't that it was excessive, but it kind of was. It seemed like it just seemed to overshadow the storyline and the plot line. It's like you get into a certain part and you're like, okay, they came to the bar and this is going on, and okay, and now we're at a sex scene. I'm like, wait a minute, what why?
right.
So
I mean,
Why not? It's a bar.
I can't hold out too much. Like, I can't speak to the whole series because I never watched the last 2 seasons. I got to the end of season 5, and they killed the last relationship I cared about in the
Which
show.
was?
Lafayette and his boyfriend, the Brujo. Spoilers. Anyways, but yeah, whenever they killed him off and
It's
did that,
old enough that
I was like, I don't care about where Sookie is now, and I don't care about any of this other stuff.
Well, and the series is old enough that, you know.
Yeah.
But with HBO Max now, and you're able to stream
Mm-hmm.
all
Right,
of that.
right.
Another one that they did that was my absolute favorite, and probably always will be, was Carnival.
Yeah, Carnival. Yeah, I
Loved,
loved it. It was great.
I don't even know what
loved
genre you'd call that.
that.
It's very mysticism, like a lot of mysticism.
Well, it was a lot of supernatural kind of mist, but then there was the boss that nobody ever saw, but was always behind the curtain.
It's a lot of like religious symbolism and allegory in it
Yeah.
too.
Yes. But that was another one that my dad and I would watch on Sundays.
I really,
That episode where they go to the mining town.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That is a rough ending of a show.
Yes.
And I love how they set it in the Dust Bowl and all that. So people are desperate for work. They're desperate to bring some money in. You've got these carnivals, and they're losing money too because people don't have the money to come to the carnival. But kind of off subject a little bit. The other night I got to show Chris the original Freaks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good.
But I think the one HBO has is really cut up because it was only an hour and a minute long.
It's an hour 14 is the full runtime.
Yeah, I think they
Something
cut
like
some
that.
of it out
Yeah.
because I don't remember seeing the.
I mean, the only violence, they're really like violence. I'm using quotation fingers, listeners. The only
fingers.
violence is like right there at the end where
Right.
they show what they did to her with the duck lady.
Yeah, but there was the shot where the guy with no arms and legs was
Crawling underneath
crawling underneath with
the
the
truck
knife.
with the knife in his.
Yeah, that
teeth.
was not in the one on HBO.
Okay,
Oh.
there's definitely that scene.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and I could have sworn that they also started repeating "Be One of Us" while they were chasing her.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that
It,
either.
it's been
A hot minute.
a hot minute since I've seen it, like early '90s.
I subjected a lot of people to it whenever I was in high school and college.
But they got to the reception
Yeah,
scene, and
us.
and she looks at me and she goes, "Now I get it."
We accept you. We accept you.
Yeah.
Google gobble, google gobble.
Go.
Gobble gobble.
Gobble gobble.
One of us. So anyway, back to topic.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I mean, if we're just branching from Freaks or whatever, you can go to American Horror Story now
Ooh,
that's
yeah.
true.
because
Yes.
there was the Freak Show
Freak
episode.
show,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which Chris made the comment that she thought Naomi Grossman was one of those people. I was like, no, she's an actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's actually very pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw. I was like, no, I thought she was actually really what they call the pinhead. But she wasn't.
Hydrocephalic.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
But no, she's very pretty and
Yeah.
Okay. So in the group of American Horror Story,
Mm-hmm.
what's your favorite?
You first,
From
Mike.
what I've seen thus far, my favorite would probably be Asylum.
See, I really love Asylum. It's one of my favorites.
I would think we're mainly agreed on that, but I know my second place some of y'all hate. So
is
Coven.
Hotel.
Oh, see, I couldn't get through Hotel.
No,
I
see,
don't know
my
why.
second would probably be Freak
I
Show.
don't know what it was about Hotel that I had.
I mean, Hotel has a
Was it
long
Gaga?
build up, but I love those last few episodes of it.
Was it
Yeah.
Gaga? Gaga's the reason.
She's good. I mean, but I like where they end up. They got a really good arc with what's that actor? He was the burned man in the first season.
Dennis.
The burned man.
O'Hare?
and then he played
Dennis
the
O'Hare,
spoiled
yeah.
Oh,
boy.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him as I guess he's like transvestite in that season.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
Cleopatra.
Yeah.
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 Or
He's,
Elizabeth Taylor as Cleopatra part of the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's got a good arc in that season.
The one I did not like the first time I watched it was Coven. I did not like it on first watch. On second showing, it was better.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
See, that was my favorite, and then Hotel was my second.
I figured.
Okay.
Listen to her. I
Another
figured.
one. There's a couple of seasons that are kind of lost to me. Like, I watch them, but they're just kind of like, nah.
I like.
The political one,
Yeah.
I think
That
I watched
one
the
was-
first episode of that
it
season and
was-
stopped.
you know, it was what it was. And then,
You're gonna cite one of the ones I really like. I know.
What?
The one with Cuba Gooding Jr. The one that's like I survived for the first half of the season, and then it's like the other side of it.
See, I think.
hold on, I
think the
gotta
last
pull it up because I
full-
can't remember all
it's
the
after
episodes.
Cult. I don't remember what the name of it is.
Which
See,
one was the cult? Was
Cult was the political one.
okay. Okay.
Because the last full season I watched was probably Roanoke.
There it is.
I loved Roanoke.
Okay.
I
It was
liked
only
it.
6
Okay.
episodes.
It was short, but I really liked it. And the other one that I really liked was
I like the first season's good.
No, I take that back. I think I watched most of the one where they had the bomb drop and they were in the bunker.
Oh.
That was after.
That was after Roanoke, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
that was way
It's the Antichrist season, whatever they called it.
I think I watched most of that season, but I haven't seen any of the new. I haven't seen
1984 was a good one.
1984. I haven't-
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse. I
There
did
you go.
watch most of that one, I think.
And I mean, nobody can deny that Murder House was fantastic.
Oh yeah, they're supposed to be going back to it.
I'm excited about that.
I mean, the only thing, like, I have to, like, the weird thing is, like, as much as I love Haunting a Hill House, I do have to, like, lend credence that the way that Murder House ends is very similar to the way the Haunting of Hill House ends.
Yeah.
Like, the resolution.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. Somehow you have a weirdly happy ending.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, with Murder House, it's like a Christmas episode.
Yeah, and it's uncomfortable.
What? They're just trimming the tree.
It's
They're
uncomfortable.
not alive, but they're trimming the tree. They're having a good time.
I will say though, regardless of what season it is, Kathy Bates is phenomenal
Yes.
Yeah.
in every one of them.
Yes.
Even when I wasn't enjoying Coven, I did enjoy her performance.
Madame
Yes.
Lalaurie. She made a good Madame Lalaurie.
Yeah.
And speaking-
I've struggled. I watched 7 or 8 episodes of the Stephen King show on Hulu,
Castle Rock.
Castle Rock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
I was not, like, I don't hate it. I just, like, I haven't gotten the bug to keep going with it. Like,
Well, I will say that in the first season, once you hit like episode 7,
okay.
it gets way out there, and even I was like, "Wait, I got to rewatch this. What the hell just happened?"
Okay.
Kind of thing. So it gets kind of weird between episode 7 and 10, which is the last episode of the season,
Okay.
and then season 2 kicks in.
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing: what did you call this episode, Mike?
Which one?
Our episode of our podcast.
Oh,
Small
screen, big scares.
All right, so let's go into it.
okay.
Are there moments in a miniseries, TV movie, or series that have actually been frightening, like
Yes.
to you? Okay.
Which one?
Let's start with a TV show, I guess, because I mean technically with a TV show you have more time to build tension.
Right.
Absent
Okay, well, let's
commercial breaks.
see. Because of AHS, I do not want to sleep in a hotel bed ever again. Ever.
Okay.
Ever. Not that I already didn't find that really uncomfortable to sleep in a bed that
Thousands
thousands
of people
I
have slept in.
and God
Yeah.
knows what on. Yeah, it's that just
Trillions
solidified
of
it.
spermy cells.
Can't do it.
Sure.
As far as Coven goes, Coven didn't really affect me any, but there are some other ones like Night Gallery that affected me big time growing up.
Okay.
Just the whole. There was one where a woman was blind and she was getting a transplant.
Mm-hmm.
And she got her eyes, and the second she started, the doctor took the wrapping off, told her, okay, well, when this alarm goes off, you can open your eyes, and it's slow to adjust at first, and turns out when she opens her eyes, there's a blackout, so she doesn't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
And just the thought of, I have vision problems, just much like everybody else, but I mean, the thought of you close your eyes, and then all of a sudden, you can't see anything when you open them back up. That's kind of a frightening thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if one scared me per se, but if you ask my kids, I don't get scared anyway.
Yes, you do.
There have been moments in movies and stuff that have startled me, but
I
I,
like
wouldn't
jump
say
scares.
necessarily scare me.
I like jump scares.
Yeah.
Anything that's going to make me jump, I love it.
There's been ones that have affected me. Probably not so much in a scary way, but in a philosophical way. Like one episode of The Twilight Zone where the whole episode, there's this woman with bandages on her face.
Mm-hmm.
But you never see anybody else's face.
Yeah.
And then come to the end and she looks normal to us, but
Mhm.
not normal to their society.
Yeah.
That one really kind of affected me.
Right. I don't know about like on TV series. I don't know, but the TV. This is going to be so weird to talk about. And if you haven't seen it, you won't understand it. But there's a Masterpiece Theater
Ooh,
production
yes.
of The Woman in Black.
Yes.
Oh.
And it
Okay.
is so much better than the movie version.
So much.
Really?
No,
Like, because there's almost no special effects. There's nothing, but the actress they got doing it, she just stares daggers and hate every time you see her. And they actually like omitted some of the plot that's in the book to make it like more enigmatic and creepy and everything. So like it ends largely unresolved and like unexplained for the audience.
Speaking of TV series, we forgot one. Fantasy Island.
The
There was some creepy. There was some creepy
very
episodes in there.
creepy ones towards the end of it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I still haven't watched the new movie, but
I have not either.
Well, I mean, we got plenty to still go on with that.
Right.
I really like. I mean, whether you count it or not, I'm on record as being a Hannibal fan.
I love
Yeah.
Hannibal.
There's tons of great imagery in that
I'm with
show.
Paul on that one. He got me hooked on Hannibal.
yeah.
Hey, I didn't ever watch Hannibal, so
You'd like it, Chris.
yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty.
it's pretty.
It is. It's from.
Are we talking about the
Pretty.
guy, or are we talking about the show?
In general, it is pretty.
I won't comment on that.
So-
but
So
Oh, come on, Paul. Is he pretty?
oh, Mads
Wow.
Mikkelsen. Oh, my heart.
so cinematically,
He's
it's
my friend.
shot really well.
It's shot really
like
well, and
the
it's
Hannibal movie.
So much better.
so
Is it
much
really?
better.
It's
Yes.
so it's a.
Now, which one was which movie
Ryan.
was it where it shows his origin? Was that Hannibal or was that
The one that tells his
Hannibal.
order, that was Hannibal Rising.
Hannibal Rising? That one was beautiful.
Yeah.
So the series, the Hannibal series, is from the same series creator as Dead Like Me, Pushing Daisies,
Okay.
American Gods. So like, what's weird is if you think about all those shows together, they all have a whole like sheen, like a whole lot of imagery going on with them and everything.
Yeah.
American Gods and Hannibal
Yes.
especially, you can watch and see that they're from the same like development and creative team.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Because like the imagery and like dreamlike stuff that's going on are
Yeah,
like
it's
very similar.
very
Yeah.
pretty.
Great cinematography. from
Yes.
time to time. And yes, all the recipes look astoundingly good
Ye-
within the show.
And there are good recipes in the cookbook.
There are. Although I just can't bring myself to do anything with the snails. Out of everything in that show, the episode with snails was the thing that turned my stomach the most.
You're fluctuating.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. The Snell episode was. It was pretty, but it was gross at the same time. Like, yeah.
Gillian Anderson has like the most revolting. Better?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Gillian Anderson says the most revolting thing I've ever heard her say in that episode.
Well, she's pretty raunchy anyway.
She talks about being on a strict diet because, quote, my husband is particular about the way I taste.
Yeah. Yep. But then there are some new ones like that I find quite appealing, like Winona Earp.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that show so much.
I like Van Helsing.
With Ms.
Van Helsing
McMurray.
is good. What?
With Ms. McMurray.
With Miss McMurray.
But
Shout out to Letterkenny fans.
She drinks as much in this series as she does in Letterkenny.
But it seems like all the movies are being turned into series now.
Yeah. The Mist.
Yeah, the Mist series, which was really good. I enjoyed it.
It was.
From Dusk Till Dawn, the series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Exorcist series. I know there's others. The Purge series.
Mm-hmm. Well, Purge, I think they just were trying to run that as much as they could into the ground while the iron was hot.
Yeah. Still haven't seen the last movie.
Well, they have a new one coming out.
Yeah.
Has it not
The
come out yet?
Forever Purge or something like that.
Oh, has it not come out yet?
No.
No,
I thought it came out already.
One that I know Mike and I both really enjoyed, and it was only 2 seasons, and we really wish it would have been better, was Midnight Texas.
Yes.
Mm.
I would have liked to
Midnight
see more of that.
Texas was fantastic.
Another Charlene series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was fantastic.
Another one we really liked was Helix.
Helix was, that one was really good. The second
Season, yeah.
because it was kind of like the, I don't know exactly what's the word I'm looking for, where it's a series but they're all different, like
Anthology?
yes, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
It was an anthology. Now the second season of Helix wasn't called Helix, it was called something else, I can't remember,
Double Helix.
but it was shush it was set in the Puritan convent kind of like. Did you watch the second season?
Yeah, I thought it was after they left the facility, and it was following him around, and she had been turned into whatever.
No.
Maybe I didn't then.
The second season was it was set in like this. They were all. I'm trying to think. Crap. What's the name of the movie?
Village.
Yes, very much the Village type, where it's like
Okay.
a group of people who are living in this like old timey lifestyle and not realizing
okay.
what's around them.
Okay.
And so it's very much like that.
They're living in a
Didn't-
historical village. We churn our butter.
wasn't as good as the first
No.
one, but it was still okay. But then
Yeah.
if they'd have continued on with the same storyline as
Right.
Helix,
Yeah.
it would have been great.
Yeah. One series that I don't think you and Paul have gotten into, but Supernatural
Yes.
was a big one, and has been a big one for a lot of people.
Hence why we have Mr. Crowley.
Yeah. I watched the first 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah.
It's never been something I've gotten into, and it's not that I
How
don't
are
think
we
I would.
Friends.
I like a lot of things that you don't like. Okay, Chris.
It's just the episode count that's intimidating to me.
It's a lot. It's like rewatching Law and Order.
Yeah.
Doink doink.
No.
Doink doink.
No.
Doink doink.
Another one that I enjoyed was Grimm.
I
Yeah,
loved Grimm.
was good.
That was a great one.
Loved Grimm.
As a Raimi fan, I can't say enough good things about Ash versus Evil Dead and the way that turned out.
That
Yeah.
was a good one.
Like, even though it had another damn cliffhanger, like you give 3 seasons and Ash ends on another cliffhanger, but
I tried really hard to like it. I tried.
well,
really
they
hard.
regressed his character. Like the weird thing is like you start with the first Evil Dead, and Ash is just a normal dude, and then you get to Evil Dead 2, and he starts like cracking wise. Then he's just this vain jerk by the time you get to Army of Darkness, and then he is like gone completely backwards in Ash vs. Evil Dead. He's a stoner living in a van,
Mm-hmm.
and he just like messes up constantly.
Yeah. Let's see.
There's a lot of them that are announced or in the works that may be interesting. I think it's Sci-Fi is looking at doing a Nightbreed series. Not sure how that's going to turn out because I'm a big Nightbreed fan.
Yeah.
I'm kind of iffy on that one.
Well, I mean, it's got they have at least the comic series to go with because there was a whole anthology comic series tied to that.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Looks like they're in pre-production for doing one called Miskatonic U, which could be interesting.
There's a game called that too, I thought.
Yeah. Speaking of Lovecraftian, the series on HBO.
Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft
Country.
Country.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was done very well. I enjoyed it. I was hoping for another season, but HBO saw fit not to do that.
Right. We won't go into why.
Nope.
We'll just leave it at that.
Well, you honestly don't want to go into anything
Nope.
involving race
Nope.
and
Nope. Nope. Paul,
H.P.
stop.
Lovecraft.
Don't be talking.
No. Looks like they've announced an Underworld series. Don't know
Okay.
how well that's going to turn out.
As long as it's only based on the second movie. Mm.
Oh boy.
Another one I enjoyed was Badlands on AMC.
Yeah.
Never watched that one.
It was pretty good.
Of course, blind spot. We realize we haven't even touched on Walking Dead, really.
No. Or Fear the Walking Dead. I couldn't get into The Walking. I watched the first season, started the second season. I was like, this is like a soap opera where every 20 minutes they pause so the zombies can walk through and then they get back to the drama.
It's like
Zombies, cue zombies.
I got to season. I might have gotten the furthest out of anybody in this room. Then I got to season 5, and I know the big strokes of the story because they kept coming up and like getting spoiled for me before I got to the next season. So that ended up dictating that I didn't follow through because I already knew all the plot twists.
Yeah.
So which one was season 5?
All right. So the jail is season 3, right?
I think so.
Possibly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
4 is.
the
I don't remember where they lost Carol.
hold on.
There's some great episodes in there. There's a great episode with, of course, anytime you bring what's his name, John Carroll Lynch.
Yeah.
Anytime you bring him into anything, he's great.
I liked him as Twisty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked him in Zodiac.
Oh, yeah.
Hell, I liked him as Drew Carey's brother.
Let me see.
All I know is there's a car papa. No.
Actually,
Actually?
hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
I made it to the end of season 6.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay.
I started Fear of the Walking Dead and I got through the first 2 seasons of that.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that it was a little more apocalypse
It was.
hype
Yeah.
as
Yes.
opposed to The Walking
I heard it
Dead.
started a lot faster than Walking Dead did.
It did.
Yeah.
It started a whole lot faster.
Because I'll be honest, Walking Dead just starts the way that 28 Days Later starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But
There's going to be a Ginger Snaps series.
I could be down with that.
Yeah.
I like the movies.
And then of course you have your mainstream ones, Buffy, Angel, all those.
Whew. Buffy. I mean, like Buffy went forever, so like you got good moments, you got bad moments.
See, I preferred Angel because it seemed a little more dark.
Mm-hmm.
Where Buffy was all kind of...
Oh, I thought you were gonna say which one of Buffy's boyfriends was your favorite.
Oh, no, the series. The series.
Spike. Hands down, Spike.
My friend got me into listening to the audiobooks of the Dresden Files and James Marsden.
I love the Dresden Files.
They're great.
They
They're
were
great
so
so far.
good. I was so mad when that series ended.
There was only one season.
I mean, apparently the book fans will get snippy when it comes to that TV show.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it was good. It shouldn't have ended.
We're talking
I'm on book 3 right now, and it's like, and so I like start sending him text messages, and he's just like, it's like, just wait, you're gonna, is like I can't wait for you to get the parts you're gonna cry your eyes out. Like, there are things like that in this series you didn't tell me.
Because you have to feel emotion.
They're talking about a Hellraiser series? I don't even want to know.
I mean, there's a lot of anthology stories on the Hellraiser universe.
Yeah,
so.
but if it's not going to include Doug, it's going to be worth it. I Know What You Did Last Summer series. Currently filming, evidently. They're going to make a Stephen King's It series?
Do we really need to?
I mean,
it says after the death of Georgie, younger brother. Yeah, okay, we know that. Yeah, we've seen the movies. Starring Seth M. Filial.
I mean, that book is so long. Neither adaptation touches on everything that's in that book.
It's true. A Howling series, I could possibly see that. An Event Horizon series, I don't think I can see that.
I just showed that to my girlfriend.
Yeah?
Yep.
What'd she think?
She liked it.
Did she?
But she's a super big fan of over-the-top 90s horror. 13 Ghosts is one of her favorites.
Like that one?
So whenever it was like about 20 minutes in, she's like, okay, I'm digging this. I was actually thinking I kind of want to watch 13 Ghosts. I'm like, it's got a similar vibe.
Yeah, it does. Do you see? Do you see?
I'm not sure what we're talking about.
Event Horizon.
I've
never seen it.
Speaking of pandemic type situations.
I know I would.
Speaking of what?
Pandemic type situations and apocalypse stuff. The Strain.
I love The Strain.
Del Toro.
I've read the first book is where I'm at. I'm torn between reading the other 2 books before I get to the series. I will say if there are readers in the audience, read the first book. If nothing else, read the prologue. That prologue is one of the most amazing intros I've ever heard read, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I enjoyed that series.
Yeah. Does it begin with the backstory of the Master?
I know that the Master's within the first couple of episodes, but I don't remember if
that's how the intro.
backstory.
The intro is all just his backstory of him as a boy, leading into everything.
I know that's in there. I just don't remember where.
Okay. That was captivating.
No, because I think the series starts with it
with just the plane.
With the plane.
Yeah.
And then they get to the Master later after we find out.
For the benefit of the audiences who don't know this at all, the story begins with a plane landing safely on a tarmac, but the tower not being able to raise it, and there's just no one inside whenever they finally get to breach into it.
Yeah.
Like trying to find out the mystery of what's going on there.
Yeah.
And his coffin's on there though. Sarcophagus, whatever you want to call it. And then I think sarcophagus.
Sarcophagus.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's episode 2 or 3 where they start diving back into the childhood of how things got to be.
Okay.
Del Toro did say that the creatures he did in The Strain was where he got his idea for the ones in Blade 2. With the way the bottom jaw opened up completely.
Mm-hmm. the book come out before Blade 2?
I don't know.
Because I know Blade
Or maybe
2.
it was Blade 2.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
wanted to do what he did in The Strain in that movie, but they said it was
Yeah.
too much or something like that.
Okay. Mandibles.
Yeah. But, I don't know. It just seems like the further we go along, the more... Because there was like a Sleepy Hollow
Yes.
Chris used to watch.
I liked
That's
Sleepy
pretty
Hollow.
good.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It just seems like more and more people just want to see the darker side of things.
Yeah. There are definitely limits. Like...
Kids seem to be the one thing that's off limits. Did you ever notice that?
Well, I was about to cite. I think I talked about it previously in another thing, like another episode. We're talking about the games or whatever. But Corpse Party, they did a 4-episode arc on Corpse Party in anime form, and there is so much violence against elementary school kids, age kids in that show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you could never do this live action. And I was like, I don't know that that show scares me, although there's definitely like some mess with your head moments, but it is so uncomfortable to watch, it almost makes you queasy.
I can see that.
Yeah. Because I'm seeing here that they're going to be bringing back Goosebumps.
Uh-huh.
So that'll be another thing to look out for. I guess because the movies did so well
Mm-hmm.
with Jack Black.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see where we go from here. I mean, it seemed like during the 90s they were making, movies from TV shows and cartoons in the early 2000s, and now they've reversed and
Yeah.
they're taking these movies and starting to make series out of them.
Yeah. And I
So-
mean, with the streaming services and everything, you have the ability with people binging to really set up massive amounts of tension and like get people invested in characters that you pull out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Another one that was with the streaming services, it kind of benefits because you're not getting all of the ads and everything put in there.
Yeah, which will break attention.
Yeah. Stranger Things probably would have been a whole different thing if it had been on NBC, ABC, whatever, and you get into a tight moment and all of a sudden, boop,
Yeah.
do you feel fresh?
Well, with Stranger Things, it's got kind of that safe vibe because it has it's so nostalgic feeling like 80s adventure. But I will say, like, the first presentation of the other world with the Demogorgon the first time you watch it in season 1, it's got some tension.
Yeah.
And season 3 is with the one with the pool.
The one
Yes.
with
Yeah.
The last one.
Yeah, because there was like whenever they got to the Mr. Dirt Stash, the lifeguard.
yeah.
Yes,
Billy.
Yeah, Billy.
that actually had a little bit of creepy moments to it.
I still blame the girlfriend for his and several other deaths. If it weren't for singing that damn song, people would have lived. Heather, you watched October Faction.
I think
It was
so.
about the parents that were monster hunters. Their kids didn't know, and then their kids find out.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was.
I would have liked to see more of that, but I don't know if they're even working on it. Any final thoughts on series that you may recommend?
Supernatural's always go to, but if we're talking about a little bit older, definitely Twilight Zone.
I'd say even the new Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
You first.
I mean, I dig the old stuff, but some of the new stuff is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Wynonna Earp is kind of my go-to. If
Oh,
you
yeah,
haven't
she-
seen that one,
she loves that show.
It's fantastic.
I've seen a bit of it.
It's great.
I take every opportunity to recommend Hannibal. I
Yes.
just do.
I like Hannibal too. Hannibal's
So
great.
like psychological horror and all about the nature of friendship.
Yep.
No, we
Yeah, I
have
would do it.
have to say that he really likes Hannibal so much he bought the cookbook.
Yep.
Oh, that Cumberland sauce is
Oh, and if
fantastic.
there are other anime fans in there, I know they just put out a second season, but Boogie Pop Phantom's pretty good.
Okay.
Like that has some great moments because I loved the way that worked for a series because like the first episode it's like psychological horror of like this 20-something-year-old going nuts and you're trying to figure out how do you even get a whole series out of it, and then he's on the middle of the street and somebody has a nervous breakdown and they don't explain it at all and you go, what was happening there? And then episode 2 is the person that was flipping out on the street.
Oh, okay.
And then they keep doing that. Like you have one scene with whoever stars in the next episode
Okay.
and building out that way.
Huh. Interesting. I don't know. I would, after what I've been watching recently, I would say The Outsider definitely
Yes.
really, really done very well. Beautifully shot. A lot of intrigue and mystery, and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? What was that? What do you mean that? What?
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Definitely recommend the book if you are a reader.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recommend both. I'd read the book long before I watched the series. I honestly had to call in sick one day from work, and yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I was taking some pills, so I was just sitting there. I was just sitting there vegging and letting it run all day, but I didn't regret it.
Right. Yeah. New Twilight Zone. I think Jordan Peele has done an amazing job reinventing it back to its original state, because he comes in like Serling, does the narration, basically tells you what the theme of each episode is, front and back, just like the original series. Done very, very well. Castle Rock's really good, but I think that one's a Hulu only
Yes.
series,
Yeah.
so
Yes.
you'll want to have Hulu for that one. I don't know. There's just so many good ones out there. It's
So
hard
many
to
good ones.
list them all.
Yeah,
So
and I mean, for those wanting just the nice safe security of an old splatter anthology series, I'm sure you got Shudder. Watch the Creepshow series that Greg Nicotero is headlining.
That's
yeah,
the
I've
new
heard
one,
some
right?
good things about that one.
The one we
Yeah.
started. Yes.
Bob Ross versus Evil Dead.
Yes.
Nice.
Fantastic.
It's one of the better stories.
It's great.
Who else is attached to that?
Tons of people.
Tiffany Shepis'
There's a
one?
lot of people that direct on those episodes.
Well, there's one that keeps popping up on my Instagram promoting it a lot. So I was thinking there was someone that's really, I don't know, heavily used in a lot of it as opposed to some of the others. I want to say it was Daniel Harris or Tiffany Shepis or one of them kept promoting it a lot on Instagram. So, but yeah, little screens, big scares this week, and we're back. And now we're gone. But yeah, TV shows this week. Check some of them out if you haven't looked at them. If there's one we didn't mention you would like us to check out, we're always willing to watch a new show.
Absolutely.
Always. Don't forget to subscribe and rate and review. Go to fearcentral.net for all the information about us. We will see you all again next week. And as always,
Stay scared.